Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Frank's List the Play Call. Uh, wow, Super Bowl's done, over with. Shout out to everybody. We're gonna talk about this soon, but first off, let's go around the room. We're gonna leave June for last because his team won. He just got back from the parade. He was out there chilling, shaking hands with people on the float with them, having a good time. Nikki's not on camera, so I'm not gonna go her first. I'm not gonna do that to her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with Bree. Bree, how you feeling today? How's you doing?
Doing really, really good today. Just woke up from a nap literally like 15 minutes ago. Went and brushed my teeth real quick, took Toby outside, made a hot pocket to get on this thing. But I'm doing really, really good. I do have one thing. Me and June were practicing all week, and he better get
Oh
this.
my God.
He
Are you
better.
serious right now?
Yeah, I'm dead ass serious. I'll do a solo if you want me to. But
Yes. You
there's
have
a
that voice of an angel.
okay, I'll do a solo because June don't wanna June I made June learn her lyrics. We rehearsed, he got it wrong every time. So
There's a lot of pressure. A lot of
There's a
pressure.
song. So there's a song that someone made on TikTok that went crazy viral, and someone made a song about Cooper DeJean, and it's to Billie Jean, the instrumental of Billie Jean. But the song goes, "Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a corner who'll lock down your number one. DeJean is CB1, but his white ass could
I
run."
understand why June let you do it solo because
Oh, that song
I
is everywhere.
understand why he let you do it
So
solo.
June knows the lyrics. It's just he was off key with it. I'll be like, Cooper DeJean is not a, and he'll be like, safety. Like, what?
What? Wow. The world of hate.
June, we'll get to you. We're gonna give you your time, your moment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your team. But Nikki, how you feeling? How you doing? You back from New Orleans? And no, she
Yeah,
wasn't.
I was out there in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Saying
And
hi to
Nola.
my
I
folks.
seen her. I see her out there with the Eagle stuff.
No, 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 no. I wore green the day of the Super Bowl. That was about I was about as much as you got out of me. But yeah, I mean, listen, God is good. And
All the
it
time.
was a lot of us that was on our knees. Pause.
Yeah,
I'm
pause.
saying, okay. I never pause, but just for y'all that need it,
Girl, you said on our knees. That's a pause moment. Because
we
It definitely
paused.
is.
We paused. So it was on our knees and praying and begging for please. And you know what God did? He said, "All right, churn, I got y'all. Don't worry about it." Since all of y'all came together, because you know where they say when more than one comes together, he's in the midst. It
hmm
was a lot of us that were together and prayed that, you know what I'm saying, that the Eagles found a way.
Toby.
And God said, let there be light for the Eagles that day.
Yeah, they was. All right, now, without further ado, you know,
And then,
we finally get to
I was
have
just so
June.
happy because,
We get June on here. June, first off, man, congratulations to your team. Second Super Bowl trophy in the franchise, right? Jalen Hurts finally told me, motherfucker, say, you know what? I've arrived. Uh, your team showed up, showed out, left no questions, didn't leave it to the refs.
They could help what regardless.
Yeah. Um, how you feeling, man?
Man, first and foremost, I want to give all the glory to God. Nikki, Nikki, because without that, we couldn't get to W. You know what I mean?
Here's on that.
Yeah,
Oh, I love the I love the hoodie. I just read it.
yeah. He's got all the Super Bowl gear on right now.
Mm. I'll tell you, I'll tell you, man, I'll tell you about the parade in a second, but as a fan, right? You guys know I talk a lot of shit sometimes, but for the most part, I think I remain humble when it comes to my team. I think I do. But I let Bubba do all the crazy stuff. And you know, uh, if it's one person, I I wanted to get that W was definitely Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Um, I think all the criticism and all that stuff, which is mounting up, and it became more of disrespect than criticism. And um, thank you. Yeah, okay. Just sit with it. My daughter. Um, tastes good too, like pineapple. But anyway, so Jalen Hurts was to me, obviously, I'm happy for everybody, man. But it just became more of a year of criticism and show out. And they got criticized all year, and they showed out, man. They were showing a clip of Barkley when he was talking to the team right before the Super Bowl, and
Mhm.
he said, "I don't know about you guys, but after watching more, every time I watch more and more uh, video on these guys, I noticed that they can't fuck with us." And they never faced a team like us. They never faced a defense like ours. And we're gonna show them, man. And it was from the beginning to end. Um, that one touchdown winning games, man, I think really affected the Kansas City Chiefs, and I really caught up to them. It's unfortunate for what's his name for Hopkins, but at least he got to where he hasn't been, at least, right? Now he got to go get that W. But that's a different story. But yeah, man, I'm happy for the Birds, man. Happy for everybody there, and I'm super excited. You know what I mean? When you're down south, and I didn't realize there were so many Eagles fans after a while. You're like, God, where you been? But it's really cool, man. It's really cool. It's really fun. Um, and shoot, man, you want to talk about the parade now?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Man,
You got your
Jump in
5 minutes.
for
You
one
know what I'm
time.
saying?
I tell you, man, the parade was an experience. You go there, and the very first parade in 2018, I couldn't go because I just got that house in Georgia, so I couldn't leave the fam. We didn't know anything about Georgia, so I didn't want to leave, and so I missed it, but it was okay. And I said I ain't missing the next one. So uh, uh, I said, hey, I want to go. I had bought the ticket. She didn't know. So I had bought the ticket and I said, I want to go, but I understand it's Valentine's Day. So if you don't want me to go, it's okay. I had bought the ticket already. So um she's like, you know what? She goes, we're in our 40s, and we're in our 40s. It's Valentine's Day every day. It comes to a point in our relationship where it's Valentine's Day every day, and this experience doesn't happen all the time. I said, all right, let me look at these tickets.
You like,
Oh,
drop me at the airport right now. Take
I
him
said,
off.
let me look at these tickets. Oh snap! I leave at 1. She said, "Damn, that fast?" Let's see. Yeah, yeah,
He came out with the luggage, the carry-on ready.
Ready. Drop him now.
You said that? Oh, let's go.
yeah. So just fast forward to the parade. Obviously the parking, the street closures, and everything like that was chaos and very chaotic. Um, you had the panhandlers out there selling everything, right? Everything for an arm and a damn leg. Um, uh, and then you get to you had to get there about 2.5, 3 hours early to get a decent spot. There were people that camped out. So again, just being a part of that entire chaos was interesting as hell. Um, and then finally, leading up to it, the first two buses, man, they were going kind of fast. So I'm like, oh man, we need to go over there, kind of catch them slowing down, which apparently they did after a while. But over 1 million fans there. They said it was over 1.5.
Mhm.
And I believe it. At first I was like, I don't know, but shoot, man, it was a lot. They were giving stuff out. Howie got hit in the head with a beer
Mhm.
can. But you know what? It wasn't like the fans were throwing stuff. It was the players were asking for the beer, right? The players were
Mhm.
like, come on,
Yeah.
come on, come on. So they were just throwing it, they were launching it. Howie just didn't see it coming. And
Well, he's not a player.
He got him. Yeah.
yeah. So
Not
that
alone.
was cool. The only thing was maybe for the first half a mile, Saquon was inside the bus. So I didn't see Saquon.
Mm,
Devontae Smith was inside the bus. I didn't see Devontae Smith. But I mean, the crazy motherfuckers were out there. Um, CJ Gardner, he was out there in front. Coop, living the dream out there. Mitchell from Guantanamo Bay, he was out there.
Oh, he
Um,
was lit. He was
lit.
drunk.
yeah. AJ Brown was in the back of the bus. I mean, he was saying what's up to the fans. In the beginning, he wasn't engaging as much, but as they got further down, obviously, they started drinking a little bit more. You can see that they were out there.
Mhm.
Um,
He had that liquid courage.
yep. And then Gilly came out he came out all the way in the front, man. So he wasn't there at the beginning, which I thought he should have let off with the parade.
Mm.
But overall, man, it was a good time. I went out there with my best friend and his cousin, and it was a good time. With them and you know, I'm just glad I got to go and experience it, because I may not make next year's. So um
I see what you did there. I see you spoke into existence. I like that. I like that.
Nikki, don't do it. I'm watching you. I'm
Oh, we're
watching
gonna talk
Nikki every
about
time I
that.
say something.
We gonna talk about that. Bree
Yeah.
got a good lineup for us set up, so we're gonna talk about all that stuff. So I think it's dope, man. If it was not on Valentine's Day, I probably would have made the trip up there with you. I've never been to a parade before, like a championship parade, which is crazy because I had multiple opportunities with the Patriots. I just never went. I think because Boston's fucking cold as hell when they when they were winning all them fucking championships. It's crazy, but I think it's dope, man. I think what your wife said was right. Is every day when you're in a marriage or in a relationship with someone is Valentine's Day. It shouldn't just be one day a year. And we're older. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that next year you get the opportunity? So tomorrow's not guaranteed. And she understood. Plus, I know you're gonna take care of Wendy anyway, so you gonna you gonna make it up to her. But I think it's dope, man. Congratulations against to your team. Like I said, not just beating them, but beating them. You know what I'm saying? Like belt to ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Convincingly. Like we're gonna talk about it, but just I'm gonna wait. Go ahead, Bree, because I want.
So, on Sunday, February 9th, the Eagles defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. I'm really going to say 40-6
Mm-hmm.
with the starters, 40-22 as a whole team, because they scored the
Two
other
touchdowns.
14 points when the second string was in for defense and offense. So, just stats from the game leaders: Jalen Hurts, 17 for 22, 221 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 interception. Devontae Smith had 4 receptions, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, 21 for 32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 of them being a pick six. Xavier Worthy, 6 receptions, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then for rushing yards, the leader for rushing yards for the Chiefs was Patrick Mahomes, 4 carries, 25 yards. All
Well,
right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first on your
I,
thoughts?
I think what June said, that Saquon said that they never faced a team like the Eagles all season, was very accurate. On offsides, me, June, and Pete were talking once, and I said, how often can they keep winning these one-score games? Eventually, luck is going to run out. Eventually, you're not going to get that call. And in the Super Bowl, I feel like the Chiefs was very disrespectful. They thought they had in the bag. They've been going consistently. Everybody was crowning them the three-peat champs already. You had people like Nick Wright already had confetti and all that stuff lined up in the booth for when he got back to do the show that they can present it. And they got beat. They got beat convincingly. Mahomes got whooped. I feel he did not know what to do. But before the half was over, by the end of the half, he already looked defeated. He had no answer. He didn't know what to do. He wasn't sliding the protection. Shout out to the Eagles defense for not getting sloppy, staying on task, not letting him scramble out that pocket, forcing him to move into the pocket, making him slide out the pocket early, had him see him ghost. They said that on one of the shows that he was seeing ghost out there. And I felt good to hear that because, That's one time Sam Darnold said he was seeing ghosts.
Darnold, yeah, when he played on the
But
Jets.
Mahomes was literally, that team looked dejected. They looked lost. They didn't look into it. Even at half, if you look, they were all sitting down. Uh, Travis Kelce looked like a mediocre tight end. He's not the greatest tight end of all time, so I don't know why they say that. But I was happy to see. I've never seen a team besides maybe the Broncos when they lost to Seattle in the Super Bowl get beat so bad, and besides them losing to Tampa Bay like they did a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 years ago. The way they lost is they lost. It wasn't like, we've said in the past that a team, like, how we say, oh no, they didn't beat them. The team lost the game. No, 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 no. Eagles beat them. They had no answer. Yeah, they stopped Saquon, but they forgot that Jalen could throw the ball, and they forgot about Brown and Devontae Smith and Goddard, and they just got beat, man. I could keep going on that, but they won. They won it. They didn't leave it, like I said, they didn't leave it up to the refs. They took it. They won it. They went out there. They executed. They stuck to the game plan and they won. So, shout out to them. I thought it was a good Super Bowl. In my opinion, it was dope.
Mickey?
You know, they did what they had to do. It is what it is. Saquon wasn't really a factor. We already knew that they were gonna plan for him, but it was like that's all they planned for because Patrick couldn't. It was such a. You know what? It makes you think about the Chiefs' year, and like we've already said, the one field goal wins, and last minute, um, yeah, it just
Penalties, yeah.
huh?
Last minute penalties on the other team.
Yeah. So that was that wasn't even a the ref really couldn't do nothing. But the Chiefs couldn't. I mean, they couldn't because if they would have helped them, it would have been too blatant. We already said their calls when it comes to the Chiefs are very questionable. You know what I'm saying? But like now they're like, bro, I can't even help you. Like, what you doing? Hopping, dropping balls because a ghost was in the back of his like. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So good on the Eagles. Jalen was locked in the entire time, and he had to stay locked in. The criticism that June tried to say, "Oh, da da da," the criticism was real. But you know what? When you're faced with adversity, and when everybody's like, "Now tell me what you're gonna do," and you come up and you show out,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing we can do now is just applaud. It's very good for the Eagles. I said America was on their knees praying. So, when we call on the name of the Lord, he sure answers. So it wasn't shit, I even wore green. I had to dig and dig deep to find it. But you know what? I wore it and I supported them, and it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. Good on the Eagles. I'm proud of y'all.
Go ahead, Ray. Go.
Oh, okay. So, like Frank said, built to ask game of the week.
It was only one game.
Chiefs, game of the fucking season, because that's the most important game of the season.
Yeah.
So, like Frank had said earlier, like it felt like nobody like showed up for the Chiefs, or they didn't have an answer. June said something the weekend before we recorded for the Super Bowl, where he said it's smart if you do not build your entire game plan around Saquon, and we all looked at him like he was a crackhead, but they did not build their entire game plan around Saquon, and it's because that is what was expected. The Chiefs knew Saquon was like the it factor of that offense. So they built their defense around thinking Saquon was going to rush the entire time. They wasn't preparing Jalen to throw the ball the way he was throwing the ball, as much as he was throwing the ball. They wasn't even expecting Jalen Hurts to run as much as he was running as well. Now, I would say this too, right? Jalen Hurts, outperformed Patrick Mahomes twice in both Super Bowls. Yes, they lost the first one due to, again, a call that shouldn't have been fair, but he outperformed and outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls. Now, I don't understand the Jalen Hurts criticism that he gets a lot. And one thing that he did say is it was after one game and he goes, "This is what y'all wanted to see, huh?" Right? After having a phenomenal game. When you have so many weapons and so many pieces to a team, you don't have to show out and don't have to show out as much, you know? And one thing about Jalen Hurts is that he utilizes all his key weapons. Yeah, he'll throw some games, some days they'll run, some days it's Saquon, some days it's Dallas Goedert, right? But that's one thing about having so many key weapons on one team. You want to utilize all of them. You know why? Because it's going to take the opposing team out of track and they're not going to know what your next move is going to be. So I don't really understand why he gets as much criticism, but he shut up all the haters, all the haters in the media and stuff. One thing that I like that Coach Sirianni said, and Frank actually told me that this is what Andy Reid said. Andy Reid said, you know, we're used to going to Super Bowls. This is a Super Bowl. We know how to play in Super Bowls, right? So their mindset was, oh, we've been in a Super Bowl before, yada, yada, yada. Super Bowl fatigue is the excuse they used for why they lost, right? But they were thinking of it as like, oh, it's a Super Bowl. We know how to win in a Super Bowl. We know how to play in a Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni's mentality was, hey, don't even think about this as a Super Bowl. This is just a regular game. Think of it as a regular season game. Play like a regular game, you know? And that's what they did. They went out there and they played as if it was a regular game. To me, it seemed more like an Eagles whole game. The Kansas City Chiefs came out, everyone was booing. The Eagles came out, everybody was cheering, you know? I like to say what I said before. It took the Avengers twice to beat Thanos, and they did stop the enemy. The game felt like good versus evil. And it honestly felt like it was the entire world rooting for the Eagles and Chiefs fans rooting for the Chiefs. So I usually typically always root for the AFC teams in the Super Bowl, but the last couple of years I haven't. And like I said, congratulations to the Eagles. Congratulations to Cooper DeJean on his birthday. Pick six, first touchdown on his birthday. It was in the Super Bowl and it was a pick six. Big shout out to that defense. They had Mahomes eating grass. Sack after sack after sack after sack, interception after interception, 0% blitz. Like it was, they blitzed for, 0% blitzing. It was just phenomenal in that defense and that offense at the same time. So
You know, yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up, right? There was zero blitz, 6 sacks. There's a shirt that says 6 because last year the Chiefs were 0 to their Super Bowl parade, saying, well, when they played them, and they kept receipts, right? So I don't know who it was that wore that shirt for the Chiefs that said 0 when the Eagles had led the league in sacks that year and they got 0 against them. So I don't know if it was Williams or whatnot that he wore 6 for 6 sacks because they didn't forget. But no, the reason I said about Jalen Hurts and everything like that was because man, they mentioned something the other day, and I think it was RC, and he said the reason why Jalen is Jalen Hurts and the criticism lays on his lap is not because of what he can't do, it's because of what he does. And what does he do is he doesn't play like a Joe Burrow. He doesn't play like a Mahomes. He doesn't care about throwing the ball and having 300 yards. If it takes 79 yards to win the game, that's what his mentality is. I'm gonna throw for 79 yards, rush for 50, let my running back do the rest. Because in his mindset, he doesn't play for what we believe a quarterback should do. He plays for what he knows what he's gonna do, and that's why he has all those W's. And that's why I said, man, I couldn't wait for him to get a ring, man, because he's always been a humble guy on his press conferences and everything like that. So I was just waiting. I was like, man, let this man get this ring. Now we'll see what happens after this, but I'm okay with it, because now we're talking free agency and all this extra stuff. So shit's about to hit the fan. Not just for the Eagles, man. every other team. So I'm just excited for it. And shout out to Zach Bond. My golly, Zach Bond. I mean, he's got to be the hidden gem out of this whole madness. You already knew what Barkley could do, but we didn't know what Zach Bond could do.
Great
And
line.
that right there was
Great
a
line.
extreme factor for the entire season from that particular player.
And I think we also got to give, not we as just the podcast, but we as people who talk football, the media, the press, we have to give Jalen Hurts a lot more credit than what people actually give him. He's been a starter for 4 years, right? He's been a starter for 4 years. He's made it to the playoffs every single year. He has more playoff wins than Josh Allen, more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson, more playoff wins than Joe Burrow, right? And then particularly Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson because they're NFL MVPs and they've been in the league a little bit longer than him, right? He has more regular season wins than Josh Allen, than Lamar Jackson. Again, quarterbacks who been in the league a little bit longer than him, and he's made it to the Super Bowl twice, but I still feel like he faces like a lot of criticism and no one talks about like the good, or people don't look at it in that limelight.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Frank.
I think no, he doesn't, and I think sometimes people forget that it's not going to look like everybody else. And if you look at the names you mentioned, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is better than Allen, Lamar, or even Burrow when it comes down to the quarterback position. But he wins the most, so people crown him as the GOAT, right? They crown him as the current GOAT, the guy that should be the
Not
example.
no more. Not no more.
Well, you got some people that kind of, do it. I don't think so. I don't think he should be mentioned in the same category as Brady or any of Brady because, and you look at his points differential in 2 losses compared to Brady's 3 Super Bowl losses, the points is different. Brady never lost that bad in the Super Bowl. I think when Eagles beat him, they beat him by 8 points. It was a touchdown when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? But going back to the game, man, shout out to all of them, bro. Honestly, that team came together with rookies on there. Y'all started some rookies in the secondary against Mahomes and Andy Reid offense. Like, I don't think people realize what Vic Fangio did. And to me, there was no adjustments from the coaching. To me, that loss was not only on Patrick Mahomes. That shit was on the coaching staff. If you looked on the sidelines, you saw Spagnola upset. Like he was so frustrated that they couldn't get and they couldn't stop the Eagles. He was just frustrated. And on the other side of the ball, the offense, they looked so lost. Like the reason I bring it up is because when you look at quarterbacks of the past, right? And I'm not gonna say names, y'all know who they are. When the game was on the line, they had enough football IQ to move the line and protect, get the ball out quick, maybe start change the play at the line.
Yeah, that's a few we can name. Drew Brees,
Yeah,
Tom Brady,
I'm just not trying to bring the people that we constantly because but he doesn't do that. And shout out to the Eagles, bro. They did it convincingly. And I think that the Eagles defense took a page out of the Bucks defense that beat them in the Super Bowl. But everybody said they was missing their tackles. And that's why the offensive line was weak. Well, what you're gonna say now? Or that Tooney's a guard and he shouldn't be a tackle? He was playing a tackle position the whole season. And it was good enough until it wasn't. Man, don't take no away from these defense. That defense went out there and showed the fuck out. Fangio's 8-0 versus Andy Reid. Well, not anymore. Well, 8-1. You know what I'm saying?
And
Two things. Go
go
ahead,
ahead, go ahead. All
Frank.
right, not really quick.
Two things I want to bring up really quick. The first thing is, the 2 Super Bowls that the Chiefs lost, they did not have Kadarius Toney on their team.
Yeah.
That's one.
Wow.
That's one. And then two, I don't know if you guys saw the clip, because they've been dropping like clip teasers of NFL films because they were mic'd up. I can't wait to watch the whole thing. But it was 27-0, and you have the Chiefs on there on the sidelines, like, come on, y'all, we could do it. Like Brady did it. Like we still got time because it was like it just hit the third quarter. And he was like, Brady and the Patriots did it. We could definitely do it too,
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
they jumped right into Nick Sirianni looking at Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore's like, "Call this." He goes, "If you call it, the game, if we score, game over. So yeah, go ahead and call it. Go ahead and call it so we can go home." And it
Just
was the
call
play.
it.
Yep, he said, "Just call it." And it was the play that Jalen Hurts threw the bomb to Devontae Smith in the end zone. So I thought that was so funny because right before that touchdown, the Chiefs were like, "Oh, 27-0. Brady came back 28-3. We could definitely do it. If the Patriots do it, we could do it." And then boom,
Mm,
touchdown.
Yeah.
mm,
And another thing, last thing I'm gonna say about my squad, man, is hey, I criticized Sirianni in the beginning. We started at 2-2. And I said it on offsides, man. I said, we're starting off 2-2. If we're a 500 team by, week 6, Sirianni's gone. I said it, and there's too much firepower there for them to be a 500 team by week 6.
yeah.
But Jalen Hurts has had 3 different OCs in the last 3
Mhm.
years, right? He had 2 different DCs in the last 3 years. Well, the team had, right? So we give a lot of criticism to Sirianni, man. But I think when you reflect on stuff like that, man, the stuff is not easy to sit here and make these adjustments and have the players adjust to the constant change,
Mhm.
um, and still have winning seasons. So shout out to Sirianni, man. Hey, I know I gave you a hard time, bro, but I wouldn't be your brother if I didn't give you a hard time.
He's on my shit list right now anyway, so Nick Sirianni, we'll have that conversation. This motherfucker was at a bar last night giving out free shots of Crown Apple, knowing damn well I drink Crown Apple. I am the
He didn't
queen of
invite you.
Crown Apple.
And he didn't
And
invite you.
no,
It's crazy.
Bananas.
all right. So we are going to talk about free agency. So I'm going to name the players due for free agency this upcoming year. Free agency does start in a month, March, around March 13th timeframe. So today we are going to do quarterback, running backs, and wide receivers up for free agency this year.
Mhm.
Talk about where do we think the team should, extend them a year or 2 or 3, they should go somewhere else. Where would they be a good fit for if they do go somewhere else? And then that's it. Okay. So we'll do quarterbacks last. We'll start with wide receivers. That's my favorite. All right. So wide receivers available for free agency. So you want me to name 5? We talk about that 5 and then name another 5 and we talk about that
Yeah,
5.
we can do that.
So we have Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, first 5.
You said Diggs. Who else?
Diggs, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin.
Okay. I think Diggs should stay another year, give it run it back since he got hurt. See how that team does. Higgins, if man, see, I want to see him stay, but I know that he goes to another team. He's a
The
number
Patriots.
one. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to see him go. Allen, I would stay. I don't. Who's gonna? I mean, you could take Allen.
No,
He's older. He tends to get injured, so I would just stay with the Bears unless I'm going to a team that I could ride the bench, come in a few plays, and win a ring. So that's
he's
gonna be
he's 32 years old in 8 months.
yeah. Godwin, I could see him going, and Cooper, I would stay with the Bills, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would stay with the Bills because you got our boy coming back next year as a second, his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the Bills are gonna go out there and do what they got to do.
No, yeah, you're right. June, Nikki.
You said Diggs. Who was the other one?
So we got Diggs, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin.
All right. So I agree with Cooper, right? Like, one of the biggest reason is now y'all can. I think the Bills have it to go further, and I think that's a perfect place for him to go further. Like, I don't. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, Godwin. I don't know about Godwin, man.
You need to stay in Tampa. You can't break up Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Like you can't do it. Like you cannot do it. I'm sorry. You can't do it. Chris
The
Godwin.
problem is this, right? It's not that I don't think he should stay in Tampa. It gets to a point where, like, for anybody, I'm like, oh, what's the dude name that wants to leave now? What's it call it?
Tyreek.
No, the
Tyreek.
Browns.
Oh,
Um,
you Nick Chubb.
yeah,
No,
like
Garrett. Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett, right? It gets to a point where it's like, I don't want to say don't be loyal, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know, we're only getting older here. You know what I mean? And you just don't want to waste. You're still youthful, and you know, you don't want to waste your great time. Where it's not that I think Tampa is bad. I don't see. I don't know. Uh, for everybody else besides Diggs, I don't give a fuck about Diggs. I'm sorry. And
What happened to
I
me?
think he had one good thing, the Minnesota Miracle, and we put him in the high pedestal. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he hasn't delivered when we put him up there, but I think we also created a diva in him. You know what I mean? And the diva that we've created hasn't lived up. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So the only two, T. Higgins State, Allen State, Diggs. I mean, oh,
June.
oh no, it's so fucking hard.
I think Diggs has to stay in Houston just because I'm not too sure on how Tank Dell's how he's gonna come back from that crazy injury that he had. So I think that's gonna affect the receiver core over there with Collins and Tank Dell. Now, if Tank Dell comes back swinging, which I don't have a doubt in my mind, but again, it wasn't like it was like a sprain. I mean, this dude had surgery back to back years, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And he got
So
shot.
yeah, okay, all right, damn, he got shot too. I didn't know that. But so you got two surgeries and you got shot. So I'm not too sure how he's gonna come back from that. For that second one being right after, excuse me, the second one, the first one or whatever last year. So that's why I think Diggs needs to stay there.
Mhm.
I think next year will be Diggs' make or break year. And I keep forgetting that he did have surgery too. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect him to come back like a robot, but he'll be all right. Um, who was the other one? Cooper, Amari Cooper. I think he needs to stay there. I think he
Yeah.
needs that this year to develop with Allen. Amari Cooper is not a diva. He is a hell of a receiver, and I've always
Mm-hmm.
been a fan of his. Um,
Very humble guy.
so
Mhm.
I think he's going to be a huge asset to the Bills once he and Allen connect. Who was the other one?
We
T.
have
Higgins.
T Higgins, Keenan Allen, and Chris Godwin.
Yep.
Man, Keenan Allen's getting up there, man. It just seems like he's getting old, and I just don't think he's in the right team with what's his name with Williams. So I think I think he should have stayed with the Chargers. So hey, go back, bro. Go, they both need you both need each other. So go back and they could both benefit from him. And then T. Higgins, man, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Because it just seems like he and Chase are like the perfect combo over there.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't think he wants to be there anymore. So um, at the end of the day, Dallas sucks. All right, let's just get that out the way really quick. But yeah, T. Higgins, I don't know. Maybe with the Patriots, man, get a fresh start over there. He'll be the number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you got Rabel over there. You got some good coaching. Who's your receiver now,
We
Frank?
don't, we don't really have nobody.
You draft well, and then you'll get Higgins.
They got a few
Oh,
guys, but they don't have a true. They don't have a one. That's the problem. Got Kendrick Bourne, Pope.
Kendrick Bourne. That's what I was thinking about.
I think we got rid of Thornton, Taquan Thornton. We got rid of somebody, but yeah, we don't have nobody like real wide
Babies
receiver.
fresh.
Yeah, they're young. You know what I'm saying? They're real young. We need a veteran wide receiver to come in and teach, and be able to help. So yeah, he can come there, but I mean, so they saying that Burrow has been in conversation with the ownership and Chase and Higgins, and Burrow's basically he even made a comment that the Eagles spend money. Like they keep spending money to get players. He said maybe that's the way to win. So a lot of people
Mm.
are saying that Burrow's saying, listen, let's just restructure my contract. Let's keep chasing Higgins and Trey Hendrickson on defense.
That would be the dumbest move you make on defense.
But the thing I mean, we'll talk about them later on, but I don't know, man. I think I don't know. That T. Higgins, yeah, I would love to see him come to the Patriots. Obviously, I think he's a true wide receiver one. But I mean, if you're asking me, can my team make a run next year to the Super Bowl? I'm gonna say no. If you ask me, does the Bengals have a better chance of making a Super Bowl? I'm gonna say yeah. So I'm as a fan of football, I'm gonna tell the guy to stay where you at least guaranteed, not
Yeah.
guaranteed, you're at least putting yourself in a position to maybe go back to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
If you're okay with coming this way and us being on a 3-year program, maybe 2 to 3 year program, then that's too much time gone. If I'm T. Higgins, I'm going somewhere where I'm needed, so I'm valued, and I also have a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? And in the AFC, honestly, there ain't that many teams that you can put out there to say you got a better chance going to the NFC and probably going to the Lions or somebody and teaming up with St. Brown over there.
Mhm.
So,
It's funny because someone commented on Sauce Gardner's Instagram and was like, tell T. Higgins to come to the Jets. And he said, I will not be telling him that.
Mhm.
Alrighty. So the next group of wide receivers that we have Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Brown, and Darius Slayton. So Hopkins and Marquise Brown.
all them dudes
Mhm.
need to go um to a contender. Okay. Hollywood Brown's younger, so he can go somewhere and build. I don't think he's a true wide receiver one, though. I think that he's only as good as the other people you have supporting around because he's a speedster. I don't see him, if he's doubled, he's done, right? Hopkins, speaking of Hopkins, and I'm only saying this to be talking about him. I feel after his comments after the loss was not in the best manner. Talking about there was a lot of touchy calls that the referees missed. My man, your team was on the other side of bad calls for the entire season. Like, and I've said this in the past. How is it that the team that is penalized the most for holding in the regular season all of a sudden gets to the Super Bowl and learns how to block without holding? Just want to know. I also want to know what these refs. So I don't like when you finally lose, you're trying to find a justification for losing. Or there was touchy calls. Nah, y'all got beat, homie. There was no. They could have gave y'all. Look, they could have gave Mahomes a 15-yard penalty for when he got hit in the head on that strip sack fumble, and it still would have made a difference because the fumble still happened, and they're just gonna tack on the 15 yards to push the offense back that they couldn't stop anyway. So Hopkins, all them guys, Deontay Johnson is not a wide receiver one, so he needs to go where he can be a supporting role. All them guys, Cook, the same thing. I would go to a team that just needs me to do what I need to do. That's it. The only one that I think is still probably got gas in the tank is Hopkins, but even then, he needs a wide receiver too to help out. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take. All the motherfuckers can stay where they need to go, stay where they at, or go somewhere new that needs some supporting help.
Yeah. And the Eagles had more penalty yards than them in that game as well.
Yeah, so I don't know what touchy cold he was talking about, but
Right in the beginning. Losing by
He started off with y'all people complain about the Chiefs getting favoritism, you know. Nothing. It was just
yeah.
the flipping was just so bad, like the refs could not step in to
He
fix.
needs to go somewhere where he's gonna be utilized.
mhm.
I think he was super underutilized this year.
He had those two crucial drop passes in the Super Bowl though.
Come on. Yeah. It was
He had
just
two huge
Yeah.
drop passes with no defender around him.
yeah. You can't, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a
But
minute.
ball was in his hands. Pause.
Baby, it was
Yeah. So now we're gonna do running backs. We have Aaron Jones, Raheem Mostert, Najee Harris, AJ Dillon, Nick Chubb. First five. Me personally, besides Nick Chubb, I think Aaron Jones needs to stay in
Mhm.
Minnesota. I think Raheem Mostert needs to stay in Miami.
So they
I
let him
think.
go though. They cut him.
Oh, they did cut him already?
Yeah, Mostert's gone. He's not coming back. They
Oh,
yeah,
What?
yeah.
I didn't.
Damn.
Freaking news. Frank,
I saw
Frank,
something on IG where it was like one of those news or whatever, and it said Dolphins not bringing back Mostert or some shit like that. So he's gone.
well, we'll
He's a
find a place for
free
Mostert.
agent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I think Najee need to stay with us. And I think, see, I would say AJ Dillon needs to stay with Green Bay, but they utilize Joshua way more than they utilized him, you know?
So I think we can attest to this that Saquon proved that you go to the right team, you could be you can actually be who you're supposed to be.
And Nick Chubb need to go. If he wants
And that's
to,
what I was gonna say. The only one out of all them guys that I think need to pack his bags and go, especially with Myles Garrett talking about he went out, is Nick Chubb. And I think Nick Chubb goes to a team with a good offensive line and allow him to do his thing. He's gonna be fine. I think he should go. Everybody else, stay put because don't let Saquon and Henry fuck y'all world up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them dudes mess your pockets up because you're not gonna get that in every team. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at if you look at Barkley's year, let's say his best year of his career came when he finally had an offensive line, when he finally had receivers, when he
and the
finally had a good quarterback, when he finally had a winning environment to the point that the dude is sacrificing getting yards to allow younger running backs to go and eat. You're not going to get that often. So for those guys that don't have that talent, stay put. But Nick Chubb, brother, hey, you need to pack your
he
bags.
had 3 years total of season-ending injuries. 3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Maybe I just posted on the chat. Maybe he has to be put as a package deal so the Browns could recoup all this money they given to Watson, right? And this sucks. You got to get rid of your players, but your organization ain't doing shit right now. So you know what? Get rid of Chubb and Myles Garrett and maybe even Watson, just because on the three-way package, get some draft picks, and it's time to start over. I mean, shit, you have no choice.
Let me
But
tell you what they're gonna do when you bring Deshaun Watson up. And I hate to say this because I was a fan of Deshaun Watson in Texans. I had traded a car in 2019. Nikki had a BMW that wasn't working no more. She wanted to get rid of it. So I took it to the dealership as a package deal with my truck, my first midnight edition. And I was going to get a new 2019 Z71 Silverado, and she was going to get a Malibu, a 2018. And they saw the car, they appraised it, and the guy told me this. He goes, "Man, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna pay the car off and you can keep it because this shit is trash.
Ugh.
It's not even worth us taking it off your hands." And I got the title to the car, and the car's in my backyard right now. And I traded it into the dealership. That's what's gonna happen, Watson. If I'm an owner, I don't want that trash. Listen, you can keep them. I'll give you the money to keep them. You know what I'm
it's a
saying?
broken BMW.
Yeah. And here's why. And I hate to say this because I like Deshaun Watson, and he's a he had talent, and I don't believe that talent is just gone overnight like that. Hold on, Bree. I don't believe it's gone overnight like that. But as an organization, I wouldn't take him as a package deal. I would let you keep him and give you the pink slip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you can have him. Here you go. We don't want him over. He could be your water boy. Cheers. June, you taking a shot or what?
No, he's drinking beer.
Okay.
I am drinking beer, but I thought the shot glass was cool.
Okay. Hanging out is good W. All right.
That's cute with the little. Oh, Nikki. Oh, that's water. Good.
That's water, girl. You know she ain't drinking no liquor. But yeah, the 2 times. Listen, that's my thing. But anyways, Nikki, what you think?
What we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. The next.
Next, we got
Very doing homework.
running backs. We're talking about running backs and free agency. All right. The
Yeah.
next.
Listen,
I hate her.
the only one I was listen. I just talked about Miles Garrett. Same thing go to Nick Chubb. You get what I'm saying? I think it comes a time where you just have to realize that it was great while we tried or had the run, but the one thing that we can't cheat is time. And if you waste, and I don't want to say waste, but it's just time to go to something else
Mm-hmm.
and try to win, you know? It's okay to stay loyal, like I said, but as great as players you are, y'all still not finding a way to come over the hump. And it's not only on you. You know what I mean? You gotta be that missing piece for another team. Y'all clearly have more than 1 or 2 missing pieces there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go to a team that's missing one piece, and that one piece is you. You know, so you know, yeah, that's it.
All
If you
right.
could place Chubb right now on the team that missed the playoffs because of a running back, what team would it be?
The Bengals.
Mm,
Because of a running back, well, they're also their deep. Well, they also missed the playoffs because the Chiefs didn't put in literally their practice squad to
I
play
like
again.
that. I like the Bengals answer.
Actually, you know that you said it. The Bengals, I think, especially,
But they need one. They need one.
and they got a young one that's versatile, catching the ball at the backfield and stuff.
He's good. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
but he's young. He's young.
Too.
But to see the problem with the Bengals, and I know we're talking about positions, but just real quick, I know we're on time constraint, but and I want to ask all y'all this. It's if I'm looking at what the Eagles did, and I'm looking at what the Bucks did, if the objective is to be, especially in the AFC, if it's to beat the Chiefs, right? That's the team. Bro, I need a defense that I just saw play in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And that defense, in my opinion, can beat any team in the NFL the way they played on Super Bowl Sunday. That defense, and then, like you said, Jalen took what was given. Jalen didn't fuck. He had one interception, which was a bad throw because he was getting hit as he was throwing the ball. He should have just either took the sack or thrown it away. But he tried to he forced it and it got picked. Other than that, he had a perfect game in a sense. To me, if I'm the Bengals, yeah, I'll take the running back. What's that defense looking like? What's that offensive line looking like? Because I know we can protect Burrow and he stays in that pocket. Oh, it's lights out. So I don't know. To me, yeah, Chubb would be nice going there, but if I'm the Bengals, I'm looking at offensive line and my defense. Where we at?
So good defense needs a running back. Missed the playoffs or wild card due to the running back situation. You know what? You know what's a good, even though they already have a pretty decent or running back one, the Rams.
Yeah.
They got a
We don't
really
even know what's going to happen with the Rams now. Is Stafford coming back? Was he gone? Cooper Kupp is gone. They told me he might be gone.
yeah.
The coach,
They
the
told
coach.
them to look for a trade. Like, that's crazy that you told your Triple Crown winner, your Super Bowl MVP, hey, go find a team. What? Talk about disrespectful.
But I will say this. I will play devil's advocate, okay? I I will play devil's advocate, okay? Their head coach is a fucking genius. I think he knows what the fuck he's doing, okay?
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
think they have a very intelligent coach that knows what he's fucking doing, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
They contemplated retirement last year.
And they made it to the divisional rounds. So I would say that. Next, let's do all right. So there's really no other quarterbacks on here. Kareem Hunt, Kenneth Gainwell, and J.K. Dobbins are like the other like big names.
If I'm Hunt, I'm going to the Eagles. That's what I would do if I'm Hunt.
If I'm Gainwell, I'm staying with the Eagles.
Yep.
Ooh, that's
I'm gonna
scary.
tell you what, Kareem Hunt and Saquon supporting each other back to back. That is crazy. And Kareem Hunt to me is a more pass catching back. We've seen him do early years with the Chiefs, but he could pound the ball. Pause. He is very good. I think it'd be a perfect 1-2 combination.
And he came into the middle of the season when Isaiah Pacheco got hurt and was running all over defenses. So I think that would be like y'all get rid of Gainwell and pick up Kareem Hunt. I think that would be smart.
Yeah.
I think J.K. Dobbins need to stay with the Chargers. I feel like he found a home in the Chargers. He did amazing, incredible. They just need a lot more offensive weapons on that team because
they need another wide receiver. That's what they need.
All they have is Ladd McConkey and J.K. Dobbins. You know.
Well, remember what's his name? Goff. I'm not Goff. What's his name? Herbert.
Herbert
was getting lit up today too. So I mean, I'm pretty sure his O-line needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, his O-line definitely needs a little bit of help. And this might be a crazy theory, right? This might be a little wild, right? You have the child, the offspring, the sperm of the greatest wide receiver that ever touched the NFL.
I think you talk about me there for a second, boy. Like, damn.
She didn't say slot receiver. She said wide receiver.
Wide receiver. And Brendan Rice, aka Jerry Rice's son. What needs to happen is let Jerry Rice get involved with the wide receiver corps, utilize his son a little bit more, and once I have a feeling they're going to drop wide receivers in the draft this year. But let him get involved, right? Because we've seen fathers get involved in the teams, you know. And even though I know his son is like, I want to make a name for myself, well, baby boy, they ain't doing nothing to help you do that. Your father needs to step in. Just like Jerry said, I know my son don't want me to step in, but I need to step in at some point. Today's your day. Today's your day. That's it. All right, y'all ready for quarterbacks? Okay. Samantha Darnold. Vikings, extend him 2 years, pay him, because I don't think JJ McCarthy is your answer.
But they said already they're not extending him. That was the talk coming in the offseason, was that he might be gone.
I mean, I thought he did well there, but go ahead. Let's see who else. Go ahead first.
Okay, next we have Jacoby Brissett.
Stay where he's at. Come in to do a Pickett did. Just take a knee. Go ahead.
Zach Wilson.
Stay where he at.
Trey Lance.
Stay where he at.
You think he was like coached horribly, or you just think he ain't got it?
Yeah, he was a top draft pick that was abandoned. I will say that he was abandoned.
June, he don't got it. Go ahead.
I think he was abandoned. Next we have Marcus Mariota.
Stay where you at, bro.
And he could stay as the backup for Jaden Daniels. That day, remember Jaden Daniels had the concussion. He came into the game and he scored 3 touchdowns and they won. Like, hey, that's good backup.
Stay where you at, bro. Don't go nowhere else.
Joe Flacco.
Now he's a person that can go to a team and help. I don't
listen. Okay, see, look, the problem with Joe is this. Joe's just happy that he playing the game. Okay. I don't like Joe. Stay with all of them need to stay with that.
Okay. Jameis Winston.
You know what? He's the king right now. I really
He
like
need to be an analyst. Just stay on Fox Sports. He didn't sign a
Retire.
contract with Fox
Yeah.
Sports.
Just
That
retire.
contract with
Okay.
Fox Sports.
Okay.
You're God. Like you are the, and if he's just, they said Jalen Hurts is the Super Bowl MVP in the game. Outside the game is Jameis Winston. He was the MVP.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
He did amazing. All right. Next.
I was gonna say with Jameis, right? He has a talent, but he's like one of them quarterbacks. He starts off good, and then by the third or fourth game is like pick after pick after pick, and you're like, "What happened, bro? Like, what just?"
The devil rebuke me from pick sixes.
Yeah.
Hey, look, he threw interceptions, but he ain't have another pick six since then. I would say that.
Well, listen, his prayer worked, but he still ain't cured from them picks.
Mac Jones.
Stay where he's at. Where the fuck you gonna go?
Carson Wentz.
Another one. Stay where he at. Where you gonna go?
There was a meme. Speaking of him, there was a meme, and it was like the awkward moment where both of Carson Wentz's backups play or won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because remember, Nick Foles won. He was the
Mhm.
backup. Jalen Hurts was his backup. All right. Mason Rudolph.
Stay.
Easton Stick of Butter. Easton Stick. The backup for Jay Herbo.
Stay.
Josh Dobbs.
Another one. Stay.
Go to NASA.
Yeah. Go be
He
a
was
first
first
astronaut.
nurse to even play. Remember? Anyway, go ahead.
I was gonna say something, but forgot that we're recording live and I'm still in the service. So let me show. Russell Wilson. I gotta take a shot to this one. He posting like he's staying. So we gonna see. We still haven't had our talk, so
Keep going. See, the problem is this, right? Everybody that is on the, I hate to say chopping block, but everybody that needs to go or thingy right now, they're in the best position they could be in. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and why I say that is anybody that would say they want to take them, I don't know if they will take them a new team up. You know what I'm saying? So
I would say stay.
I like Russ.
I would say
one of
stay.
the ones that you just said that I feel like, you know.
I would say stay. We still have to have that conversation because he's been avoiding me since wild card round. So
They're talking about Russell's gone.
Russell posted, he was like what he posted, it was like 2025 Steelers season has begun. He was like ready to see who we're playing and when we're playing them. I was like, okay. They were clowning him on Twitter like, baby boy, are you sure you still have your job?
Right.
So, but again, we don't know the inside conversations, but I will say, I was telling Frank this earlier, the Con, our GM, he came out yesterday and stated, you know, like that thing that was going around that the Steelers asked or inquired trades for Trevor Lawrence. He did say he don't know where that came from. Like that never happened, because he's the one who makes the phone calls about players. So, and he says he don't have the Jaguars on his caller ID. I was like, oh, that's sassy. Sassy. Daniel Jones.
What about him?
The
Practice
free
squad. Next.
That's the free agent.
You know what's crazy though? What if he goes to Minnesota? Well, he's in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, he's in
Mhm.
Minnesota.
What if
Wow.
he stays there? And now, legitimately, he would have to compete with Donald Jones if they keep him. And
Daniel. It's Dottie Jones and Sam Darnold.
Darnold, yeah, that's his name.
Dawson
So they
said
gotta
Darnold.
he still would have to compete with Darnold and McCarthy, right? That's the I
Mhm.
mean, in my opinion, they're kind of the same, depending on how Donnie Jones decides to revive his career against Darnold. So I
Yeah.
don't know. His best bet is to stay
Weapons
there.
do play a part because we've seen Daniel Jones, no weapons, but Saquon, injured Saquon, nothing happened, you know? When we
Mm.
see Sam Darnold, no weapons, nothing happened. He gets to Minnesota, they have a winning season, they go to the playoffs, you know? So yeah, you're absolutely right. And that is the end of that. I'm not gonna share my screen because something's wrong with my iPad. I have to update my MacBook, and none of my pictures will load into my iCloud. Um, but I do have a question for you guys. All right. So, since 2002, right? Everyone gets one guess. Since 2002, how many AFC quarterbacks made it to the Super Bowl?
5.
Okay, Nikki says 5. June.
Um, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 6.
6. Okay. Frank.
Hold on, give me a second.
Girl, they're cheating.
No, I'm counting.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay.
You said
I
since
didn't say-
'02?
Since 2002, how many quarterbacks from the AFC has been to the Super Bowl? Since
Oh,
2000.
just been not one, right?
Hmm?
Just been not one.
Yeah, been to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Brady, Peyton, Flacco, Ben, Burrow, Mahomes. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm gonna say 6,
7.
7. I
I
knew it
told you, give me that because I said 6 first. I said 6 first, and he
was
said it,
7.
so I mean, I get the second answer. I would have said 7.
So I said Brady,
So
Mahomes, Ben,
Mahomes, Ben,
Flacco, Peyton,
Flacco, Peyton,
Burrow.
Burrow, and Rich Gannon.
Who the oh, the fucking Raiders, right?
Yeah. So how many quarterbacks on the NFC since 2002 have made it to the Super Bowl?
5.
Nikki says 5. Okay.
You said '02
02.
and
Same
now.
student. 02.
Um, that's what, how many years?
Or
It's 12, right? If are we counting 2025 or just to 2024?
to like the Super Bowl.
Okay, so up to this past season. So that's 12 years.
23, 2002. 23 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It
25
is 20 years,
minus
yeah. So we said 7, 16.
16. She said 6. Or you said 5, Nikki?
Yeah, that's my favorite number.
Frank said how many? 16?
Yeah.
June?
12.
12, 20.
That's no way.
Yep. So you
There's no
have,
way.
listen, in 2002, you have Brad Johnson, then Jake Delhomme, then Donovan McNabb, then Matt Hasselbeck, then Rex Gosman, then Eli Manning, then Kurt Warner, then Drew Brees, then Aaron Rodgers, Colin Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, Jared Goff, Jimmy G, Brady, because remember Brady went with the Bucks, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy.
Yeah. That's right.
Mm.
She right.
Yeah, that's wild.
Mhm.
That's
Well, you know what? Thank Brady for motherfucking most of them from the AFC. Shit. Brady and Mahomes. You take those two, they take it all. Shit.
Yeah. Because Peyton went 3 times, Ben went 3, so that's 6. Brady went 9 times. So what? 6 and 9 is what? 15. And then Flacco went once, 16. Um,
Peyton, right? Or you said Peyton?
Peyton, yeah, I said Peyton went 3 times. Um,
Mahomes, what?
and Mahomes went what? 5 times. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's crazy.
that is crazy.
Another crazy stat. You guys ready?
Uh-huh.
There has been 89 quarterbacks drafted after Patrick Mahomes got drafted in the NFL. And Jalen Hurts is the only one drafted after Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl as a starter.
You know what's another thing? Jalen Hurts. What year Jalen Hurts was born?
Hey Siri, what year was Jalen Hurts born?
Jalen Hurts was born August 7th, 1998.
1998.
And is 26 years old.
So Hurts was born, went to
That's
pre-K,
crazy.
kindergarten, public school, elementary, middle school, high school, college, national championship winner, been to 2 Super Bowls and won one before the damn Cowboys went back to a damn NFC championship game. And
yeah.
Dak Prescott said they're not that far off.
No. Let's talk about it because me and June, I showed June the clip. Listen, while I was trying to teach June the song, Dak Prescott said, lined up against the Eagles, they are relatively close. Then he also stated, and I quote, we play them multiple times a year. We know that twice a year, you know, and we always get the better end of the stick.
Hmm.
I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse. That or Michael Parsons saying if you take the scoreboard away, the game is close.
Michael Parsons definitely won that one.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give him credit when he did say it's kind of hard to say go check the tape or that we got the better half when they're hosting the trophy. He said, so give him credit.
Yeah, he'll give him credit for that. Someone said, Dak Prescott, shut the fuck up. Why are you even speaking? You need to be at OTAs right now.
Yo,
someone said OTAs don't start till July, but your ass need to be at OTAs right now because who the fuck is even interviewing you? Why are you speaking?
so you know what's crazy is that basically they said the same thing on First Take, and they said, yo, he was at a cancer benefit for children, and Stephen A. Smith was like, oh, okay, my bad. So he had to talk because they asked him questions.
Alrighty, and then last little quiz, and then I'm gonna ask each of you guys to guess a number because then I'm gonna quiz one of you guys solo dolo, and you can use each other for help. All right, so Toby snoring. All right, so who are the top 5 highest paid NFL players of all time?
Of all time?
All time.
Mahomes.
Of all time.
That.
Yeah, Mahomes got to be up there. Dak Prescott got to be up there.
Of all time. You got to think about their of all, meaning like throughout their career of all time.
Oh, Peyton was one.
Okay. All right. So, yep. Oh no, he's not.
He was never one of the highest paid players
Of all time, top 5.
Oh,
He's
see,
probably,
that's gonna be hard because I think all the quarterbacks take the position.
yeah, they're all quarterbacks in the top 5.
Yes, right now you got Dak Prescott.
Through this 2024 season. Yes.
So Dak, Trevor, Joe,
Watson, he ain't never played, but
yeah, 20 and 30.
All right, sorry. On-field earnings.
oh my gosh,
Oh,
I'm done.
I don't know. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
June got this one. You won, June. Just
You
go
got
ahead.
it, June. You won. You don't even got to say nothing, June. You don't got to say nothing. You
All
got
right. So number 5, you have Matt
I know
Ryan
it.
with $303 million. At number 4, you have Russell Wilson with $305 million. At number 3, you have Tom Brady with $332 million. At number 2, you have Matthew Stafford with $364 million, and then Aaron Rodgers with $380 million.
So that's their total ever.
Ever, yeah. That's what of all time, like their entire careers. That's what I took
Yeah. Break, yeah.
All righty. So I'm thinking of a number 1 through 50.
5.
25.
37.
Question. The answer was 7 for Big Ben.
Got it.
So
No, Nikki
Nikki,
got it. She's the closest one.
Nikki,
I said I'm going with 7.
no, you did
Oh,
not.
you did not.
So Nikki's going
No,
first.
y'all stay cheating, man.
Nikki is going first. Okay. Nikki's going first, and I'm going to quiz Nikki on how well does she know her Jacksonville Jaguars. So you guys can help her out, all right? So the first question. The first question is very, very easy. You ready, Nikki? What are the 4 Jaguars team colors?
Damn.
Okay.
Oh, too short.
Black.
Black,
White.
white.
What was the other question? I mean, what was the question?
There's 4 colors.
What's the 4th color?
Oh, it's gold.
Oh, correct. Teal, black.
Dang.
All right.
I had to dig deep, y'all.
Who was the Jacksonville Jaguars' first ever draft pick?
It was in 1995.
5.
I don't know.
Tony Baselli.
Tony
Oh,
Baselli,
no,
Tony.
Oh, Hey,
Dang.
yeah, only Hall of Famer too.
All right, who was the first Jacksonville Jaguars running back to gain 1,000 or more yards rushing in a season?
Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor is correct.
That's all. It's a guess.
In what season did the Jacksonville Jaguars make it to the playoffs for the first time? You can say like first, fifth, sixth, eighth, 10th, 14th. Like what season did they make it to the playoffs for the first time ever?
$17.
Their second season, 1996, they made it to the playoffs in the first time.
Damn, I knew. I was about to say 5th.
Okay. This one, I'm gonna try to, the way it's worded, the question's worded is weird, but okay. In 2000, there was only one team that the Jacksonville Jaguars lost to, twice in the regular season and once in an AFC Championship game. So they only lost to one team that entire season, twice in the regular season and one in an AFC Championship game. What team was that? So think about your division because you played them twice in a season, you know.
The Titans.
The Tennessee Titans. They
We
finished
always lose to the Titans.
in 2000, they finished 15-3, losing to the Titans twice in regular season and in the AFC Championship game. Okay. You might not know this one, but I think it's a cool fact. What was the Jaguars' record their very first season?
9-8.
4-12.
They're close.
We were new. I should have said 5.
Yeah, well, babies. Yeah, y'all made it to the playoffs the second year, you know? Okay.
They went to the playoffs the next 4 years.
4 years in a row, yep. All right. In the 1999 playoffs, what team did the Jaguars beat 62-7 in the playoffs?
Ooh, belt to ass. Yeah.
What was the score again?
62-7.
Good night.
Belt to ass. It was the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hell no. No. It was not.
What you said?
What team did the Jaguars beat in the 1999 playoffs 62-7?
The Seahawks.
In the playoffs, not
Oh,
Seahawks.
you said playoffs? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know.
The Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. I just looked it up. The fucking Dolphins.
Dolphins
The Dolphins. Yeah.
murdered.
What was the first name of the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium called?
Oh no. I don't know.
Everbank?
No,
Fair-
that's
the Fairfield Stadium.
oh.
And then they changed their name to the Jacksonville I don't know how to say that word, something stadium. Okay. What round was Tony Baselli drafted in for their first ever draft pick?
Oh, 20.
What round? 1 through 7.
Oh,
You
when he
guys,
drafted.
Mhm.
you guys watching the All-Star and Vogue is on?
Mm-mm.
Second round.
The second round is correct. That's all I got. Good job, Nikki.
Yeah,
How much time we have left, Frank?
I did good.
Yeah, I think we over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, next week we'll do Frank or June, and then a week after that we'll do June. So,
It's whoever got the right number.
yeah. So Frank or June, and then next
I'm
week.
out.
Huh?
I'm out.
Yeah, you did your quiz.
Oh, I did good too.
All right. Well, that is all that we have for this episode of Frank Presents the Play Call. Thank you guys for listening and joining us. Again, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles and June's team for winning. And that's all I have. June, Frank, Nikki. Let's let June close out.
Yeah, let June go ahead, bro. Go ahead, close it out. It's your day today, bro.
Something
It was
else.
last week. Yeah.
I'm surprised June ain't holding a trophy.
Something. I feel great. Can't wait to live after a while.
You gonna close this out? You gonna eat donut holes?
Oh, friend didn't even go. I
Oh,
think
no.
we're going around.
Started.
Hey, I'm
You
letting
making
you do it.
fun.
Oh,
Just check us out. June. God damn.
you know what? I feel like Nikki today. You guys depend on me, and I'm eating on the podcast.
Shut
Yeah,
the fuck up.
yeah, you know I'm talking about you.
He
But
said talking about you, kid.
but shoot, man. Hey, this is the season finale of the season podcast, and it being the last game we're covering until we cover other stuff. But I feel good as a fan. Feel good as a fan, and I got a lot of faith, man. I'm not even gonna say what's gonna happen next year, but I'm gonna write it down and I'm gonna mail it to one of you guys.
Okay.
You're gonna open the envelope when we win. So, but nah, man. Hey, I hope everybody had a great weekend, a great time listening. Make sure you follow Frank for any financial and insurance advice. Nikolai down there in the south somewhere. I can't tell you where she is because she's gonna get mad. And Bree, if you need a she loves like damn, what do we call you, Bree? The podcast, the sensitive podcast?
No.
The one that you were talking about with taking care of the players when they're sad.
Oh, like therapeutic podcast.
Therapeutic podcast.
So
Yeah.
sensitive. I hate
So
you.
When I touch into my empath moments and I feel what the players are feeling and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sensitive.
If you're a player, and not a player, but if you're a player and you need to get some stuff off your chest, make sure that you hit Bree up. All right. So we'll get you on the podcast.
Right.
And other than that, man, everybody stay blessed, stay happy, and maybe it's these gummies, but I want everybody to keep living.
Hey, man. Good night. Peace. God loves you.